Part 3, Chapter 35 of Introduction to the Devout Life. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Shay Belcher, Seattle, Washington. Introduction to the Devout Life by St. Francis de Sales. Part 3, Chapter 35. We must be faithful in things great and small. The bridegroom of the Canticles says that the bride has ravished his heart with one of her eyes, one lock of her hair. In all the human body, no part is nobler either in mechanism or activity than the eye, none more unimportant than the hair. And so the divine bridegroom makes us to know that he accepts not only the great works of devout people, but every poor and lowly offering too, and that they who serve him acceptably must give heed not only to lofty and important matters, but to things mean and little, since by both alike we may win his heart and love. Be ready then, my child, to bear great afflictions for your Lord, even to martyrdom itself. Resolve to give up to him all that you hold most precious, if he should require it of you, father, mother, husband, wife, or child, the light of your eyes, the very life. For all such offering your heart should be ready. But so long as God's providence does not send you these great and heavy afflictions, so long as he does not ask your eyes, at least give him your hair. Take patiently the petty annoyances, the trifling discomforts, the unimportant losses which come upon all of us daily. For by means of these little matters, lovingly and freely accepted, you will give him your whole heart and win his. The acts of daily forbearance, the headache or toothache or heavy cold, the tiresome peculiarities of husband or wife, the broken glass, the loss of a ring, a handkerchief, glove, the sneer of a neighbor, the effort of going to bed early in order to rise early for prayer or communion, the little shyness some people feel in openly performing religious duties. And be sure that all of these sufferings, small as they are, if accepted lovingly, are most pleasing to God's goodness, which has promised a whole ocean of happiness to his children in return for one cup of cold water. And moreover, inasmuch as these occasions are for every arising, they give us a fertile field for gathering in spiritual riches, if only we will use them rightly. When I read in the life of S. Catherine of Siena, of her ecstasies and visions, her wise sayings and teaching, I do not doubt but that she ravished her bridegroom's heart with her eye of contemplation. But I must own that I behold her with no less delight in her father's kitchen, kindling the fire, turning the spit, baking the bread, cooking the dinner, and doing all the most menial offices in a loving spirit which looked through all things straight to God. Nor do I prize the lowly meditations she was wont to make while so humbly employed less than the ecstasies with which she was favored at other times, probably as a reward for this very humility and lowliness. Her meditations would take the shape of imagining that all she prepared for her father was prepared for our Lord, as by Martha, her mother was a symbol to her Our Lady, her brothers of the apostles, and thus she mentally ministered to all the heavenly courts, fulfilling her humble ministrations with an exceeding sweetness, because she saw God's will in each. Let this example, my daughter, teach you how important it is to dedicate all we do, however trifling, to his service. And to this end, I earnestly counsel you to imitate that virtuous woman whom King Solomon lauds, who layeth her hands to all that is good and noble, and yet at the same time to the spindle and distaff. Do you seek the higher things, such as prayer and meditation, the sacraments, leading souls to God, and kindling good thoughts in them? In a word, by all manner of good works, according to your vocation. But meanwhile, do not neglect your spindle and distaff. I mean, cultivate those lowly virtues which spring like flowers round the foot of the cross, such as ministering to the poor and sick, family cares, and the duties arising therefrom, and practical diligence and activity. And amid all these things, cultivate such spiritual thoughts as S. Catherine intermingled with her work. Great occasions for serving God come seldom, but little ones surround us daily. And our Lord himself has told us that he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. If you do all in God's name, all you do will be well done. Whether you eat, drink, or sleep, whether you amuse yourself or turn the spit, so long as you do all wisely, you will gain greatly as in God's sight, doing all because he would have you do it. End of Part 3, Section 35.